Today we're going to do our second vlog. We're going to talk about micro Botox. You're probably already familiar with what Botox does, which is to reduce wrinkles. If you're not, my website is quite extensive in describing exactly what Botox is for. As you probably know, if you've seen some of my videos or learning modules, I really try to emphasize the importance of Botox over the long term. In summary, over long terms, you start to see major wrinkle reductions. The face just looks softer and brighter and better, and in my opinion is one of the most important long-term treatments that you can have. The part that I don't think is emphasized enough, and I think the reason for it is this is a new philosophy that I've just sort of developed over really looking and micro-analyzing Botox over years. When you come in to have Botox with me the first time, I take your photograph, a very standardized photograph, and over the period of a few years, I continue to actually photograph you. The reason that's so important is I want to show you what the long-term gains with Botox are. Now, what is micro Botox? It's a term that's coined from Philippines and other places in Asia, where people put little tiny droplets of Botox over a large area of the face, and they're seeing over time some changes in the skin texture and tone, because it's not just smoothing the big motion wrinkles and the big motion muscles, but the little bit of the skin that's closer to where the Botox is situated to create a better result to the skin texture and tone. And if you look at my before and afters, what I really see is that it's not just the big wrinkles that are better, but the smooth muscle, the skin texture looks so much better over time as well. And when I look at my staff, I look at Vasilka, who's filming me right now, I look at Deborah, I look at all the people that are in my office, and I study their foreheads around the eyes and all the areas that I've treated compared to their standard skin area, and they look so much smoother to the point that it looks like a baby's bottom in the areas I've treated with Botox. Now, why is my Botox so different from most places? In fact, oftentimes I see people come in and they've been treated with Botox for 3, 5, 6 years, and I look at them and it looks like they haven't even been treated yet. And the reason is that most people go in here and they put 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 injections in the forehead. Well, think about this. That's not micro Botox. That's just standard Botox. So yes, you get some wrinkle improvement, but you really don't get the long-term gains over the entire forehead, whereas I'm putting about 15 to 20 injections oftentimes into the forehead, all measured and marked out so that sequentially that whole area, really the texture and tone looks so much better over the long term. Now, the other thing that's part of this is that obviously you're concerned when I say 15 to 20 injections how uncomfortable it could be. But what's so remarkable is that my staff will tell you they hear every day how painful Botox is from other places. But when I do that 15 to 20 injections, you won't even feel one of them. If you feel barely one of them, I'll be surprised. And that's with no numbing cream. So just to alleviate that concern. Now, I do have a little log or a little bit of a blog on micro Botox, but I thought it would be easier for me to go ahead and explain it with this video to give you a better sense of what micro Botox is in my opinion. Now, the reason I don't do micro Botox over the whole face is that there have been issues with diffusion of the product deeper into the muscles like the zygomaticus and other areas that can paralyze that area and have you talk funny. To me, it's too much of a risk in my opinion, and the nice thing is I'm not trying to shoot for getting a skin texture better. I'm just trying to condition the muscles, but as a derivative benefit, I've really seen that my skin texture looks better over time, and that's my philosophy about how micro Botox can play such an important role in your long-term anti-aging regimen with Botox.